Welcome to our new segment, Cocktails and Cults, where we discuss cults while drinking.
Cocktails or beers. Oh, you asthmaed it.
I waited intentionally after you said that.
I knew it. I knew it.
Look at my can.
Hey, nice cans.
It's huge.
It, I have also
I
a
have
huge can.
I have Trump hands. It's actually a crowler.
Is it? That does look rather large now.
Yeah. So mine is from Brow Bros and it's called Field House. And funny story, my friend made this beer and I saw
Go
it.
on.
I went to go pick up beer for us to record and I saw they were selling it at the liquor store. And I'm like, my friend's beer.
That's cool. It's your friends.
She is a pastor, Pastor Ann, and she helped me start or helped all of us start Pride.
That's awesome.
She is one of the only pastors I love.
I was gonna say, like we were talking last time, every now and again there's like one or two good pastors out there. How does it taste? What kind of notes are you getting?
Oh, it's an amber
Okay.
lager.
All right.
And I'm getting actually you have to aerate it. There's something like woodsy. It's like earthy tasting.
Hopefully it's not pine, because
No,
that
it's
would be gin.
not pine.
Gin and beer would be interesting. You've
May-
never had gin, right?
I've only had gin on accident once.
I like that it was an accident.
Oh, it's a story.
An accidental gin.
And I don't think my sister that accidentally ginned me uh listens to this podcast. So
I
I
like that
could
we're
tell the
verbing it.
story. She ginned me. So my brother had croup. Mind you, I found him. Okay, he was, let's see, I was 15 or 16. So, and he's a year younger than me, or a year and a half. So
Mhm.
he was old for having croup.
Yeah.
And I was sleeping on the couch because it was really hard for me to sleep in my room. And I hear him open because his room had like a sliding glass door to it, and it was like a patio room. He opens the door and collapses on the floor and is like, like can't breathe. And so I
Right.
get him to the bathroom. He starts like breathing a little bit, and then he throws up and can't breathe again. It's a cycle. So I get him to the hospital, and he was there for like 5 days, and I stayed at the hospital with him. I come back home and it's homecoming, and I'm supposed to go. And I'm like, I don't know if I can go. My sister's like, I'll make you something and you can.
Oh
I had
no.
never drank before and I did not know I was drinking. So she made me this smoothie with gin in it.
No. Oh no. No, 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 no. What
And
kind of
I thought it was like rotten fruit. Like it didn't taste right, but it didn't taste like
yeah.
horrible. So, and I hadn't eaten, so I drank it and because I was like, okay, I need some substance in my stomach before I go. And so then I went to homecoming and I got sick and like threw up. And I thought I was sick
Yeah.
like my brother. I was like, oh no, I'm getting what he had. No, I was just drunk.
I'm getting the croup. Oh my gosh.
What's your beer?
What is my beer? It is called Wake Up Worldwide Stout.
Oh, like a shark in the sky.
Yes, this is from Dogfish Head.
Oh,
Uh,
I've had dogfish head.
yeah, out of Delaware. This bad boy is 15.3% ABV. So,
So we're getting Jordan drunk. To
yes.
be
But yeah,
fair, mine is like 3 beers. So
it's like a coffee-ish. Yeah.
stouts are like just too sweet for me.
Yeah, this is very sweet.
I guess it's like a little over 2 beers in this. It's
Yeah.
25.4 ounces.
Yeah, so a little over two 12 ounces. Yeah.
It's a liter.
We did math. And it came out correct.
Is that a liter or is it a half liter?
I
It's 750 milliliters.
That's not a liter.
That's not a liter. Is it 1,000 milliliters is a liter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I, and a foot is
A foot is 12 inches. What is this? I feel like I'm in math class suddenly. Now, see here, kids, we're gonna do Common Core.
So
I
this
will never do that
new
voice again.
you better do it again. So we decided after our last episode we did together, which we may not air this one first, but this is our first one. Um, that we are going to do a segment about cults and because they fascinate both of us.
They do.
And I grew up in one and Jordan went to a cult school. There's a fly.
And today's cult's actually tied into that, into the whole school cult thing. So
Ooh,
yeah.
can't wait. So yes, if you have a cult you want us to talk about, or if you yourself have been in a cult, let us know and we want to hear about it because there are so freaking many out there.
There are so many, and they take on so many different forms. Some are subtle, some are not subtle.
Some are religious, some are not.
It's very true.
I ran into a couple that while I was researching this week that were not religious at all. Or at least they say that they're not, but you kind of make a god within it that
Of course. Yeah,
yeah, is
always.
a person in the cult.
Yeah, there's always a person. Well, in those, not always, because today's cult actually doesn't have a person, but so
Yeah, but they're fascinating. And me growing up in one, what fascinates me is how people who don't grow up in it get into it. Because
yeah,
I didn't have a choice,
no.
but making that choice for yourself and others and realizing how it happens and how they play off your fears
Mm-hmm.
is what makes me drawn to the stories of cults.
Fears or even your dreams.
My
And I
dream,
mean, like, yeah, like your
yeah,
goal,
your goals.
not your, yeah, not what happens when you go to bed at night.
And you find like-minded people that tell you or promise you that they will help you achieve those dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Or they dangle a carrot of if you're good enough, you'll get your dream. And you're never good enough.
If you're good enough, you'll get Tyler's gin smoothie.
I just, oh, should I open my packages before?
Oh my goodness, you're gonna do that on? Okay.
Okay. So I got 3 packages today, and they're for
Who are they for?
uh, they're for Tyler Buford's Beauregard Holmes Esquire.
Oh, they sound fancy.
I sound fancy. There when I
What is that?
oh my god.
That's huge.
How did
Oh
you
my
find
goodness.
this?
I sleuthed. That's way bigger than I thought. But
Does it taste like a pickle?
allegedly,
Oh, it says real pickle taste.
real pickle taste. I know we were talking about me finding pickle candies and them being like green apple flavored and being disappointed.
This is not disappointing.
Well, it may be disappointing when you eat it.
There's 3 servings.
Well, yeah, look how big it is. You can't tell. You can't get
It's
scale.
heavy. You're going over with my foods.
It's a heavy pickle.
It's a heavy pickle.
Man, that's a heavy pickle you got there. Oh, I did the
Oh,
voice. I'm so sorry.
no, I told you you had to. More pickles. 8 pickle flavored freeze pops. That's for our lives.
Yeah,
For popsicle time.
I figured what could be better than a frozen pickle flavored.
Honestly, though, this would be so good when my POTS is acting up and my blood pressure's low.
Oh, perfect.
These actually would be. I just start drinking pickle juice. But you
See,
have a note?
I'm always looking out for you.
Exactly. Oh, that's not a note. Did you put a note?
There's no. Oh, there's always notes.
That's from Boris.
How nice of Boris.
Boris sent me the pic of this pickle. But in the same bag, random Jeffrey sent me these.
Oh, that was very nice of a random Jeffrey.
Ice and pickle juice. Who knew? It sounds that's I don't know why, but that sounds like a card on in Cards Against Humanity. Ice and pickle juice. Who knew?
Who knew?
We should make a Cards Against Humanity pack. Okay, what's this one?
We should make one.
We got another box. Or we got a box. We have two bags.
2 bags.
Added over. More pickles.
You were getting low.
I was getting low. Okay, let's see. Oh, they're from Ralph, my hair demon.
Oh, that's not gonna go. That's not gonna translate to anybody.
I have a new hair demon. I forgot to take a picture for you.
Mm.
Oh, from the other Ralph.
Ralph and the other Ralph. See, I knew there would always be another Ralph.
This one's big. Okay. I send pictures of the hair that falls out of my head during showers, and I make little things out of them and send pictures to Jordan.
The goal is actually to make a wig for Boris.
More emotional support.
They only had two in stock, so otherwise I would have sent you way more.
Oh no, I'm just gonna get covered in pickles. If any one of you ever want to order me more pickles, they're on my wish list.
Yes.
And for some reason, my wish list doesn't go away when people buy me things.
Oh, really? You have to like manually go in there?
It's set up so it'll go away, but
I didn't see pickles on there.
Oh, maybe I deleted them. I should put them back on there. Oh my god. I'm starting a pickle cult.
I figured it would be good for your tree, you know.
The kids are gonna accidentally eat them. What a pickle I'm in. Which do I try first? From from M Potato MD. Dr. Potato.
Well, I wasn't sure if Amazon would be okay with MILF on.
Oh, from MILF.
So I put M Potato.
These are
they're pickle flavored candy canes.
I want to eat them.
I mean, they're for you, yeah.
But I also want to wait till Christmas.
I mean, you can put them on the tree. They'd go well on the pink tree, I think, but
I think they would go well on the pink tree. And I have some green ones on there. I don't know if
the greens are gonna clash.
No, I'm not gonna know which are which. Kids are
That'll
gonna
be a surprise.
The kids will be like, "Can we eat a candy cane on Christmas?" I'll be like, "Sure."
Knock your socks off, kids. Hope they like pickles.
At least there's enough that even if each of them grabbed this one, I'd still get two. So,
what was the other thing? I don't remember what else is.
That was all I got.
Oh, okay.
Did you get me more?
I don't. Maybe I didn't. Okay. I can't. That was so many days ago now. I can't remember.
Oh, I think you found all the pickle things on the internet.
I found the best pickle things I could find on the internet.
I
didn't want to go too far in to like the black web or the dark web as they call it. Like I didn't want to go into that side, but I thought, cream of the crop.
I have a game called In a Pickle, and you have to convince I think this is the right game. I do have a game called that, and I think the rules are from this game. But you have to convince the other person why your card is smaller and would fit inside of their item their card.
Oh, that sounds like a culty thing to do.
Yeah,
You're
I think
convincing people.
mind games for the
My
people.
Some listener right now is going, "Excuse me, that's called sales. That's what a salesperson does."
Sales is a cult.
I mean, if you ever watch a show about the 80s, you're not necessarily wrong.
I did get into a cult, and I'll talk about it on another episode that I didn't realize was one until I was in it as an adult.
Well, you hate to see it. Happens to the best of us.
I was in it for 3 years.
Oh wow, okay. Oh wow. I'm kind of intrigued to find out about this. So,
Hopefully, my ex mother in law doesn't watch this, but she's still in it.
what did you just do with your tongue? Oh my goodness. Okay, you're gonna cut your tongue.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Oh my goodness.
My aunt was carrying cans with her fingers like this inside of the holes
Bad idea.
outside. She
Yeah.
fell and it cut all her fingers.
Yeah. That's unfortunate for her.
Oh, another funny story because we can't get into the cults until I tell you this. My grandpa's in the hospital. That's not the funny story.
Oh, just say thanks, Debbie Downer. Here's a funny story. My grandpa's in the hospital. Is he
No.
okay? Is he
So he's waiting. He's still waiting to get seen.
Oh, he's like in the ER.
Yeah.
Oh, that
He's
sucks.
in the hallway in the ER in a bed with a heart monitor on, but he
Happened to
wasn't.
me recently.
It's crazy. There's just like
It is.
overrun. They're understaffed. It's
It's really dehumanizing to be sitting in a hallway in a hospital gown,
yes,
people passing
yes.
you by and just looking at you going, what is this person doing on a bed in the
You
hallway?
start like being like, should I act sicker? Like,
Right?
but they asked him what year it was, and he said 1939. And then they asked him how old he is, and he said 50.
Was he joking? I'm assuming. I hope. Oh no. Oh, that
So
sucks.
he's Benjamin Button, and
Oh,
that's what my grandma said, at least.
no.
I think he's just dehydrated, but his blood sugar is really high, and he's not diabetic, so I don't know what's going on with that or what's
How
causing
old
it.
is he actually?
87.
Okay, so he feasibly, I mean, he was alive during World War II.
Mhm.
So
He was
I
born in
think
1939.
okay, then that's the confusion.
Yeah,
That's probably what he thought they said.
hopefully, but he said he's 50 years old.
Maybe he was just joking. Like he was trying to be like, how people say they're 29 for 50 years or whatever they do. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm 29 with experience.
I'm 25 according to you, and I'm not ever going to give that up,
I
even
know. I
though I have
thought you were
all of this
25.
gray.
Hey, I got gray. I started getting gray in high school, so I don't judge the grays for age, but
Fair.
more power to you to go to the liquor store. Not get carded. Jordan's actually 12.
I am 12. Oh, no. This would be illegal. What are you doing to
Oh,
me?
sorry, 24,
Thank you.
because that's what you can do with your birthday candles.
Oh, my goodness. Ah,
I can't do that anymore. I'll be older
yes.
if I swap my candles. Uh,
So, so Tyler,
mhm.
what if I told you you could become a millionaire?
I'd say, where's the dotted line?
Exactly. That was very easy. Okay. Well, well, for today's cult, you would be an easy sell.
I'm in.
How would you like to make $1 million? Yes. Okay. Well, okay. Thank you. Your answer threw me off, but yeah. So today's cult is the American way.
We've all heard of this.
The American way, or as we know it, abbreviated as Amway.
Amway.
Yes. Now I know like people are like, is that a cult? Really? It's just MLM, right? Well, yes and no. It's way more than that. I mean, obviously we know, like, I think the running joke is Amway is a soap company, right? Because like that's like their two main products. Like that's what got the company off, like when it got started back in, I think it was 1959,
Gosh, it's
according to
that
my,
long.
yes, November 9th, 1959 is when
Like
it was
I
founded.
I remember it my whole life, but for some reason I don't put. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy to think it's been around that long. And it started off of soap. It was two different soaps. That's what Amway started off on. And also like the Neutralite, because that was also
Mm-hmm.
around at the time, and they kind of were involved with that too. But yeah, so our founders, they're not necessarily important figures, because as I said, this cult doesn't necessarily have like one single figurehead that everyone worships necessarily. Um, but the founders were J. Van Andel, not very interesting. This other person's name, Richard DeVos.
Dick
DeVos may
Divide.
sound familiar to us in the year 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who remember our Secretary of Education,
Oh, we love her.
was it Betty? Betsy? Betty.
It's we just call her gross.
We just call her not
We
really important.
call her a child hater. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
don't sue me. Don't sue me.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, which, like, spoiler alert, it kind of shows you the power of a company
Mhm.
that makes a bajillion dollars, like what they can do with people in their family. They can just buy positions, basically.
And that
That's
is
how
what
we got
happened.
Betsy. I'm pretty sure it's Betsy. I
But
knew this, of course, and then we started recording, and now I have dumbhead going on.
I'm gonna look it up because it's gonna
Okay,
bug me.
you look it up, and while you look it up, I will talk. So yeah, the whole thing is, right, that it's always a friend that's like, hey, got this thing for you. We all know how MLMs work. And I mean, Amway's no different. You buy the stuff and then you have to in turn get someone else to sell it for you. If you were to draw this on a board, it might look like a certain shape to you.
But insert the office.
Yeah.
When he's drawing it, they're like, "Oh, what are this is a pyramid scheme." No, it's
It's a
not.
pyramid
You
scheme.
take this person and then you find this three friends, and then those three friends find three friends.
Exactly. And I mean, and that's what it is. You're finding all of these friends to basically say, hey, buy a bunch of this soap
Mhm.
and you sell it and you're going to become a millionaire, essentially. I mean, I'm paraphrasing and I'm shortcutting it, but that's the gist of the pitch, right? You keep getting more people in and more people in and more people in, and as you bring in people, you go up. That brings you up.
Mhm.
So really, your goal is not necessarily to sell soap so much as it is to get other people into selling soap. It's kind of supposed to be that whole trickle down effect.
Economics.
Yes, which if you look at it, kind of looks like a pyramid.
Oh,
Uh,
what? Oh.
mm, but yeah, like the thing that makes American Way, yeah, no, the thing that makes Amway unique is, of course, that it's kind of playing off of the whole American dream. Like,
Mhm.
this is your American dream to become a millionaire or more than that. And that's really important to Amway because if anyone has ever been to an Amway meeting, I take that back. I have been to an Amway meeting. What am I talking about? Um, their pitch is very much so that you can have this lifestyle. It is very much so like this is the lifestyle they're selling. We're talking, you can have Rolls Royces, you can have all these wonderful properties, stuff like that. What they don't tell you, of course, is that the soap doesn't make you money. um, I don't remember what year it was. I watched this great video, and I want to shout it out because this was my main research. Was a video on YouTube by a historian called Sean Munger, SeanMunger. So if you ever want to check him out on YouTube, he has a great video, like a very extensive, like 2 hour plus video on Amway. I highly recommend it. But I can't remember what year it was. I want to say it was like 1979 or so. They surveyed like the top 1% in Wisconsin, I want to say, or the top 1% of the people the top 1% of the sellers, sorry, in Wisconsin, and all of them barely broke even.
Hmm.
And this is just on if you were to go in and just go ham on the soap. The thing that makes Amway a cult, though, and the thing that this is what makes it tricky, and what I mean, even Amway itself has had a huge strife with, is they're what they call their tools, or what the diamond members call the tools.
I just love it. It's always diamond, platinum,
It
four
is.
star diamond.
They have, yeah, like as you go up through the ranks, it's basically like any kind like Scientology, how Scientology has the ranks.
Mhm.
It's kind of similar here. You have like ruby, emeralds, and then of course top tiers the diamonds. The diamonds are like the big the move makers, whatever you want to call them, the shakers, movers and shakers. That's the phrase. Exactly, they shake like that. Um, but what they do is they sell these things called tools. This is the side business. The side business is the tools. And like, we're not talking like hose and rakes and whatnot. We're talking cassette tapes, or at least we were. Now it's a
I
little
wish they
different.
still were cassette tapes.
I know that would be amazing if Amway was single-handedly supporting the cassette market in 2023. That would be fantastic. But
Mhm.
yeah, so what it is they sell tapes at their conventions, and they have meetings. I mean, in bigger cities, they have meetings probably weekly.
They had them at the
And
DoubleTree in San Diego
they
all the
did,
time when I was
yeah,
there.
it's not like a once a week, or not, sorry, that's what I wanted to say. It's not like a, a once a month or once every quarter,
Quarterly.
right? Like pep rally. No, this is like every week. And every week there's a new tape. And these tapes are essentially motivational,
Hmm.
but they're essentially nothing burgers. But how they get you with this is they convince you that you must have this tape to perform well. If you do not buy these tapes, and I call them tapes just for, like I said,
Yeah,
just to simplify.
tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you don't, you're shunned.
Hmm.
You're never going to move up the ladder. You're never going to become a diamond. So when you consider what it costs to produce these tracks,
Hmm.
these tapes, versus how much people pay for them,
And now nothing because they're probably digital.
exactly, that is the actual cult inside of Amway. Amway itself is the cult too, right? Because you're pulling
Yeah.
in all these people, you're selling on this dream, like, hey, you can do this, and if you recommend it to a friend, they can do it too, and you'll be making all of this money. You'll be able to have like all the cars that you want and the houses you want.
I mean, I see it all the time on my Facebook feed. Like, oh, especially right now, by Christmas, you could have this much money that you made if you just do
Yeah,
this, but they never say what it's actually like, what you're actually doing or what the company is. They never say it.
they never, no, they won't. And when you get to, because once they say the company name, it's like, oh,
Hmm.
so they want to sell you on the idea first, on the dream, like, hey,
Hmm.
you really want to do this, this is what you really want to do, and then get you in it, and then suddenly now it's up to you to do the same thing.
Hmm.
My As I talked about on the trauma podcast that we did, my extended family was very religious. One side of my family, one aunt and her four kids, there we go, were Pentecostal.
Hmm.
They went to an Assembly of God church, I want to say is what they called it, Assembly of God. Long story short, she got into Amway to the point that it was always a joke to me as a kid. Like, think about it. This is, Jordan at 12, 13 years old. Like, every time I went over to my aunt's house, everything was Amway.
It
Everything.
is, it's like a religion. And honestly, for those who, so I know a lot of people who grew up in the cult that I was in who have different MLMs and their whole life is about it and they're still Christian. And I tell them, like, in the Bible, it says not to have these idols or put like your life into something else. And like, so even you as a Christian are going against your own religion and going towards this cult. And it really is.
And the thing is, of course, Amway has its roots in religion, in the
Mm-hmm.
religious right in America. Because again, they're selling the whole idea of the American dream. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps, go out, hit the ground. You can be a salesman too, because we did it. Now you can do it.
And for women, they really push for moms to get out of the workforce. You don't have to work anymore. You could be home with your kids, but you're really working like 80 hours a week just pushing this idea. It's not even a
Right.
product, this idea.
And that was my aunt right there. A way to work from home
Mm-hmm.
and not have to, go out to an actual job because um I have a cousin who has a physical disability who, my aunt has to take care of her every day. So my aunt couldn't go out.
Oh,
But like,
they really go after the moms with kids with special needs.
oh yeah, they're very predatory.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming what happened to someone at the church. Of course, like I said, I was a teenager at the time. I don't necessarily remember all of the details. I just remember going over the house, and of course, you see the Amway soap. You see that like I mean, they had every because of course Amway's not just soap. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
whatever
Oh,
you can think under
huge
the sun.
now.
Cereal, everything. Anything you can possibly
Cereal?
cereal. There was Amway cereal, yes. And there was always boxes and boxes of this stuff at their house. And I would always laugh at it because I always thought it was really funny. Amway, like I don't know why that was funny to me. But my cousin one time berated me, like, we're gonna become millionaires off of this. Why are you making fun of it? And I was just like, as a kid, like, no, you're not. No, that's not how this works. And I'm not trying to say I'm smarter than my aunt. I because I'm not. Well, I am.
You're
I am
smarter
now.
than everyone, Jordan.
I am now. But when I was 13, no. But it was just fairly obvious to me even back then that like this isn't how this is supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened again to this person, a coworker I worked with at when I worked at Sears in the early 2000s. He got really into this, and I went to an actual meeting, which is the point. This is why I'm bringing it up. I went to an actual seminar, convention, meeting, whatever you want to call it. It was the scariest thing I have ever been to.
I can imagine.
And
I have not been to an Amway meeting, but I've been to other meetings like it. And it is scary and culty, and people say things like they like at church, like they know what to say when they say something. They're like cheering and like worshiping this person on stage
Mhm.
and wanting a picture with them afterwards and like, oh, he touched
Yeah,
my hand. It was
absolutely.
so weird.
And all the people, like that's what again why I didn't really mention most of the people involved
Hmm.
in Amway still because they're a lot of them died within the past 10 years. So
Hmm.
I really don't know
Now.
who's the idol now, right? But yeah, you're absolutely right. They would idolize this person because this person is flaunting this lifestyle and saying, this is the American way. You can do it too. You just got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and hit the ground running. But yeah, so this meeting I went to, I remember everyone was drinking the same whatever energy drink they were doing at the time. Um, and it tasted disgusting. Like they had energy bars too. They were
Yes.
awful. It's like eating cardboard. And
Hmm.
funnily enough, I have a report. Uh, Consumer Reports actually blind tested the soaps, a bunch of laundry detergents and whatnot, and they're quoted in USA Today as saying the detergent. Consumer Reports program manager Pat Slavin agrees. She did blind testing of detergents last year and ranked versions of Amway's Legacy of Clean LOC detergents ninth and 18th out of 20 detergents tested. She recommends against buying them because consumers can go to the grocery store and get something that performs a whole lot better for a whole lot less money. So there's no even advantage to their
No.
product is not reinventing the wheel here.
And it's not even healthier. So
Right.
I have an app that kind of scores and tells you exactly what's in things and like better alternatives for different things. Do I listen to it? No, but it's fun to know.
No,
So,
you do not listen to it.
but yeah, for energy drinks, and there's a energy drink from a company that I got pushed into, like
Oh,
Amway, for a few
oh.
years. Um, my ex mother in law pushed me into it, basically saying, if you're going to be in this family, you're going to do this, and it's going to make you rich, and you're going to be able to retire and be home with your children.
So I'm guessing she was pawning it off on you to basically move
Mhm.
her up the scale.
Oh, and she makes money. She's high. Like she's one of the
Yep.
ones who actually makes money. But the
Mm-hmm.
people that are getting in now are never going to.
Nope. I mean, it's if you actually did the numbers, it's not possible.
Mm-mm.
That's not how capitalism works. You cannot
No.
have everyone be a millionaire. You
Mm-mm.
have to have losers
And if
in
everyone
order.
just did Amway, what are you going to do with your life? Like, what are you going to go do?
Exactly. So I mean, again, they sell you on the dream. They sell you on what they say that you can do, what you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there have been, a lot of top people in this. The Bushes, George H.W. and George W. They've had advisors. So many people from Amway have kind of migrated over. Gerald Ford was involved with it at one time. I mean, it's really, when you look at it, you kind of see um, how the religious right has really come around and banded together into this blob of power.
And the thing that drives me nuts, so the people above you can't even really help you because the way it works is there's you and then there's two people under you. So the person above you has two legs, and then you have two that break off from that one. They can only
Yeah.
put people under one of those legs. You have to do all the work for that other side. So even if that other person is really good and have a bunch of people on that one side, and you can't get anybody to sign up, you're still not going to make any money, even if that person above you is doing really well.
Right. You're actually spending money, all of this money now, buying the
Mm-hmm.
cassettes, buying the
Mm-hmm.
tapes, the tools, as they call them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the real racket. That right there is the cult. The cult is those who push the tapes. Because if you don't buy them, you're shunned.
Yeah.
And if
And
you're
those people
shunned,
at
you're
the top that make a bunch of money are the ones pushing all the people under them because they're making money off of you guys all buying those tapes.
exactly. That's where the money is made. The money is not made on the LOC, the soap, the legacy of clean, as they call it. That's not what it's made off of. The money is made off of the tapes.
Do you know how much the tapes are?
It could vary in price. I think back in like the 80s and the 70s, it was like $5 a tape. I'm sure it's much more expensive now.
And
It'd be
that's,
actually really interesting if maybe someone listening
yeah.
was a former Amway seller and they could shine some light on that. But yeah, like
And that's every
I,
week.
that's every week, at least every week. It could be every day or every other day in some cities. And like these people really get into it because for them, this is the way out of
Mm-hmm.
whatever they're in. And they prey on these people, the people that go to churches who are looking for something,
Mm-hmm.
right, to better themselves, to make their life better. They're looking for that thing, and these people come in like snakes and just are like basically giving them the apple, you know. And the fact that it's allowed to continue, it boggles the mind
It
that we still
does.
have this.
And new ones pop up all the time. Like we had LuLaRoe and
Right. And to date, like the whole tape thing with Amway has not been tested by the FTC, or yeah, federal FTC. Sorry, good grief. it might be
how dare you get letters wrong?
it might be this, but yeah. So really, it's not even labeled as a pyramid scheme, even though
No,
people inside of Amway have admitted that the tapes and stuff are a scheme. They're a pyramid scheme.
they will not if there's a product. That's the only reason there's a product, because a real pyramid scheme are people that are like, okay, you'll get these four people to all give $1,000, and then those people under them will all give $1,000. The person at the top gets all the money. Then
Yeah.
you move up, and then more people give underneath, and then that goes trickles up. So that's the pyramid scheme.
And
But
if
if
you're buying the
there's,
tapes and
yeah,
everything else and you still can't do it, that's on you because
they
we've given
blame
you the
you.
tools. Yeah, it's your fault. It's not, hey, let's help you out. It's once you get to that point,
And they're
That's
like,
it.
you just need three people that are in your family that love you. And basically they're telling you no one loves you if they're not going to get underneath you.
Right. And you have to buy this soap, by the way. I mean, I'm sure listeners
Yeah.
are probably very aware that you have to buy the product that you go then theoretically sell. But yeah, you have to
Yeah.
buy the product.
The one that I was in, I had to pay it was $108 a month of product. That was the minimum you could spend a month to stay in the company. And then if you like had to take a couple months off, you'd have to back pay all of that to be able to get back in.
You want to know
It was
something funny about Amway?
points. What?
The school I went to, the cult school,
Mm-hmm.
we had Amway soap because I remember seeing that and being like, "Are you kidding me?" Because when I was in high school, of course, I was a little older. But then and I think by that time my aunt was out of Amway. But yeah, I remember going into the bathroom and like you would see like the little soap dispenser and the soap dispenser would say Amway on it, and you're just like, "Are you kidding me?" And the janitor's closet was full of Amway products.
And I bet they were whoever it was, probably like the headmaster or whatever, sold
Mm-hmm.
it to the school. So the school was buying it. So they were actually making money off of it.
Oh yeah, I was probably one of the administrators, honestly.
And they probably signed the school up like as a
Oh, I'm
distributor.
sure. I'm sure if you looked into it, yeah, you would find some sketchy math going on there.
What I
But
hate, so my oldest son has a lot of health problems as well as mental health problems. And then I have a lot of health problems. Anytime, anytime I post about it, especially my son, I get so many people being like, I know we don't ever talk, but I have this drink that your son should drink or whatever. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
oh,
you're using me and my son, which I get it. Like, the people above you are pushing you to do this, but you are being predatory and using my son and his health problems. And you would never have talked to me if you didn't have something to sell me. Like,
exactly. And
you're
like you
not
said,
giving it to me. You're not being like, hey, I really care about your son. I want to give this to you or whatever. It's like, no, I want you to spend $80 a month on these drinks because this is going to cure him. And the promises, the straight up promises that they have.
yep, that was the same with that energy drink. My coworker, he was always trying to get me in on this. That's why he took me to that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember why I agreed to go. I
There,
can't remember that far back, but I'm sure there was probably food involved.
there's
And I
other
was,
like super, I'm sure there was food involved, but there's like so many of them that are like super shady about what they are too. They take you. Did he tell you what it was when he was taking you?
no, everything was obfuscated. Like it was, yeah, it's always behind all these smoke
Mm-hmm.
and mirrors. I knew what he was into because he would tell me about it. Because I remember I would go over and he wanted to have an office in his house that he could have clients come in and sell this product to it. Spoiler alert, it never happened.
Does he
Shocking.
have a Rolls Royce?
No. He had a Chevy Malibu and it was not clean. Uh
He needs to
guy
use
was a
some of that
hoarder.
soap.
Guy was a hoarder, let me tell you.
And
That house was there was no saving that house, but yeah, that was a
he
scary
wanted to
time.
have people in it.
Let me tell you, yeah, that was not a great time. Um, but yeah, I just remember those energy drinks and the smell of them and the taste of the energy bars. They were, but he was always touting their benefits. Like he was always espousing how good they were for you
Mm-hmm.
and all the just like what they, how you said they preyed on you with your son. It was the
Yeah.
same thing. Like, hey, you can lose weight if you eat these and do this.
Ah, the
You'll
It
be
Works wraps.
satiated. Yeah, you'll be satiated. You won't be hungry. They last all day. It's just products. At the end of the day, it's not anything new. If it was something that really reinvented the wheel, everyone would know about it.
There's one that I like
Yeah,
because they never really pushed me to sell it, which makes me feel
Mary Kay. No, I'm just
no.
trying.
I mean, at least there's a product. At least there's a legit product you're selling.
Mary Kay and
Uh,
Avon. Yeah,
yeah, I did Avon for a while in high
everyone did
school.
Avon. I feel.
But it was all about, I never tried to sign anyone up. It was just me selling makeup. so I could buy my own makeup. That's all I wanted. I just want to sell enough that I could buy my own. But Pampered Chef. So
Pampered chef.
I
Okay.
love going to Pampered Chef parties because they always make all the food.
I love that now there's sex toys MLMs.
Oh my gosh. What passion parties.
Yeah. Of
What's hilarious is I was a manager of an adult store and we had a legit store
course you were. Of course you were.
the day I
I love
turned
that.
18. This adult store was a Christian adult store.
What?
What's hilarious is so the couple that made it, they weren't Christians when they first made it.
Okay.
Then they became Christians and they were going to the church and they were like, "Hey, are we able to keep our store?" The pastor came in and was like, "Okay, yes, but we need to change some things around." So they couldn't sell DVDs or magazines. And we would put stickers over all the boxes with the pictures with like instructions on how to use it instead of pictures of
Oh
people.
my goodness.
And it was very like pink and like girly and wonderful, but it was very I would feel safe going in there and buying things like just from like
Okay.
how it looked. It was very inviting for women, like women or people who are scared about going into somewhere like that. It wasn't like dark and dingy or anything. We
Okay, I
also
can appreciate that.
yeah, so they did a really good job. It's just funny that they called it a Christian adult store, but because they wanted it to
Mhm.
be that like husband and wife can go in and like he won't be tempted by the pictures on the boxes.
We
So
all know it's just truckers.
we didn't get a lot of those people
Really interesting.
because of the way our store was. So
Okay.
but we had in the front was lingerie and then the back it was adult stuff. So it was all ages in the front and then the back had to be 18.
All ages, really.
Yeah, because it's not illegal for them to go into like Victoria's Secret or
Okay. I thought of that. But yeah, like I've they're always very contentious here in Ohio. I don't there's to my knowledge in my area anyway. There's no like
you don't have
all
one.
ages area. No, we do. There
Oh,
well in my county there actually is one. I mean, I'm sure there's more than one, but there is one that I can think of that is heavily patronized by truckers. No offense meant for truckers. Just saying, I'm sure the road is lonely. I get it, but
we had plenty of ones like that there, so I think that's why it was easy to have that where it was somewhere different and safe and like
mhm.
people could feel safe going there. And we only had one male that worked there and the rest were AFAB.
Oh,
um
nice. Okay.
so and we went to classes, we are very educated on everything, all the products. And I would even go up and pick new products and go to like they, these things where the companies like would display like what the new products were and how they're used, and like we would get to pick what we wanted to bring.
Oh,
It was fun. But
okay.
the front of the store was the lingerie and shoes, and we had all sizes, and we had shoes up to size women's, I think 13 and 15 depending on the shoes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we actually did the Rocky Horror Picture Show. We did the dressing for that, and then a lot of drag queens would come and get lingerie and shoes from us. It's really fun.
That is really fun, actually.
But yeah,
That sounds like a really fun store.
we did parties like that. So, but we weren't an MLM. So they would come
Right.
to the store and like we would do them there. So like after hours, we would have the girls come for, usually it was girls for like a bachelorette party and like
Mhm.
they'd have a discount that night when they were there. Or we could go to your house. There was like I think there was a fee for that if we didn't sell enough or whatever.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you would get nicked if you didn't sell enough.
So it was at least enough to cover us going was the fee if we didn't sell X amount to cover us and our hours going. Um, but we would do home parties like that, but we weren't an MLM or a store, but it was really fun. And then all of a sudden, all these MLMs started popping up doing it. I'm like, our stuff costs less. It's the exact same thing. So they sell this stuff, like the passion parties. So
Hmm.
it's called On. It's like a liquid that you put on sensitive areas and it makes it feel like it's like buzzing,
Sensitive areas.
like a buzzing feeling.
A buzzing feeling.
So it's
Okay.
almost like a
All
vibrator
right.
without using a vibrator. They sell it, the same exact company makes it. They sell it for
Okay.
like twice the amount.
Oh,
And it's the exact same thing, same
that-
bottle, everything. They just changed the label. And then they had this pheromone stuff that you put on. We had the exact same thing for a third of the price. And I'm like, so people didn't like that we had a minimum for going to your house for us as actual employees to be selling. So they would hire these other people and then pay way more money for their stuff.
but I guess like with the parties, you have like that whole the pageantry of, hey, look at me, I'm buying something
Yeah,
for your friends to notice, like, oh, okay, Jennifer fucks. You know what I mean? Like that whole like
I love it.
Jennifer's not a prude. She gets around.
I also did pole aerobic classes there. We had a pole studio.
That tracks. That's very Christian. Pole aerobics.
It is Christian.
It's very Christian. I can just imagine someone on the pole dancing around to God be the glory.
I did chair dancing classes too because so I got certified in both. And because not everyone has a pole at home. I'm like, I want them to be able to go home and then show like their partner like what they learned, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
And
I
not and just so listeners know, I'm not kink shaming. If you want to pole dance to God be the glory, more power to you. You do you, babe. I support you 100%.
there was
But
a
I'm promising.
there was speaking of that, there was a couple at my church.
Mm-hmm.
They had a cardboard cutout of Jesus in their bedroom
As one does.
to remind them that Jesus is in the middle of their relationship and he would be glorified by the
Hmm.
intercourse that they are about to partake in.
I wonder if Jesus would do a threesome.
Oh yeah, he's got all these holes, you know?
Oh well, oh my God, stigmata. Uh Jesus, there goes all of the listeners. You just and there it is.
Oh, our listeners are not.
I know. I would hope you don't have prudish listeners because that would be very
They
shocking.
wouldn't have made it this far.
They wouldn't have made it this far. No, especially after the cult school rigmarole. I don't
Yeah.
think they would have made it this far. Nice hands. Got to hand it to you.
They're very orange.
They are very orange. What is it? Like jaundice? Like
Trump hands.
jaundicey Trump hands. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it. I'm sorry. And on that note, no,
China.
China. But that's all I have about Amway. It's a cult.
Oh,
There you
it's
go.
and if any of you look up how much the tracks are, I would love to know.
Yes, if there's
And
any,
frequency of the tracks.
and please know, in all seriousness, I mean this. If you were in Amway, you did this, you're out of it. No one blames you.
No,
Right? We get it. We,
it's
we
not you.
completely get it. Like being not the 1% in this country sucks. We
Yeah.
get it. No one is going to make fun of you. Like, yeah, I made fun of my aunt when I was 13, but I was 13. And I just thought it was funny because everything was branded the same thing. And, when you're a kid and you're autistic, that's funny.
It is. It reminds me of a video game. It reminds me of Fallout.
You know what it reminded me of? Yeah, Fallout. And also for me, because I am old, Pete and Pete, The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
That didn't exist.
Okay, but listen, in The Adventures of Pete and Pete, everything was by this company called Kreb,
Oh,
Kreb,
I need to
and
look
that's what
this up.
that's what it reminded me of. Everything was Kreb, so
I,
like that's kind of the whole thing.
I feel like that's because it reminds me of Futurama with the mom company too.
Yes, exactly.
Because there's mom
You're spot on.
cereal and yeah. No, I do not blame you. I got into it too. It was called USANA, which I had never heard of before then.
USANA, ISANA, USANA.
USANA, Health Sciences.
Of
That's the
course.
name. And they sell everything too. So like vitamins, and they'll put them in little packs for you. So you pick your vitamins and then you get like a daily like AM and PM packs to take your vitamins, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
They had like the shakes, that was their big thing. And the energy drinks came later while I was in it. Um, and then they started adding on more and more stuff. They had this like juice. There was a company that made a juice.
You know what? Now that you mention this, I had a friend who was into some kind of energy, not energy drink, but like shakes.
Oh, shakes.
Like
Yeah.
they sold like a certain kind of they sold a certain kind of cup that you had to use, and you would put the product in there.
And it
Yeah,
had
she
like a
was big into
shaker.
that. Yeah, and it had like a little ball in it to kind of help.
Ice, was it isogenics?
No, it wasn't that. I can't remember the name of it now because it's been over 10 years, but I just remembered that. Yeah, I had a friend who was into something very similar.
There was another one that had bottles look like wine bottles, but they were, it was like a pomegranate, or I don't remember what. Oh no,
Oh,
acai juice.
acai juice. Okay.
And if you
Was
just take
like,
a shot a day, you'll be healthy.
do they ever like tout like how it would balance your pH levels in your body?
That was something that USANA did. I don't know about this
Yeah.
one,
Yeah,
but
that's the
yeah.
same thing my friend that was in. It was something that would help balance your pH. Because I remember she pH tested me, and she thought I was going to be completely acidic, and it turned out I was base.
Ooh, I'm all about that.
All about that base. Yes, I was. Yeah, she thought I drink a lot of pop. I'm like, no, I drink iced tea, unsweetened,
Beer.
and well, now, yeah, the occasional beer. How's
I'm
that? How much
yeasty.
do you have left, by the way?
It's about here.
Oh my goodness, this is
That's 12
empty.
ounces. This is 25.4.
Get with the times. You know, I'll open another one. I'll keep up with you. This
There we
is
go.
fat
I'm at about
orange
half.
cat baby L.
Elves.
I
We should
don't know
make a
anything
baby
about this
Elvis.
baby Elvis. It's an IPA. I just saw this hazy New England style double
Ooh.
IPA. How is that a Christmas beer? That should be a
Well,
Krampus beer.
it's
Well,
a
good
Mrs.
grief.
Claus beer.
Miss, she's way too cool for that. Come on.
I want a Mrs. Claus outfit.
Oh, that's not a Christmas beer. That's a double IPA. It's actually not bad for an IPA.
It's a summer beer.
This is a summer beer for Christmas. What are they doing? I guess if you live in California,
Christmas in July.
like our dear friend Landon may be soon.
Well, I don't know.
But
Hopefully, I hope so.
that is an IPA. Why did I open that? Okay. Hmm.
Unless Landon wants to go to Ohio.
I don't think so. I don't think anyone wants to come to Ohio. Let's be honest.
Everyone can just come and live in my castle in Minnesota.
Minnesota. Oh, hey, here we are in Minnesota. Yeah, we got the hot dish here.
Ooh, ooh, here's another MLM that masks itself and now is in Costco.
Okay.
Like they usually have a table set up in Costco.
What is it?
Cutco.
Cutco. My cousin, another cousin on the other side of my family sold Cutco in high school.
They're so expensive.
Yeah, those knives are not cheap. Another one, Curry vacuums. I don't know if they're still in business.
That's more of a door-to-door salesman thing, though. I don't think that's an MLM.
Do we even have door-to-door sales at this point in 2023 after COVID?
We have, yeah, they're knocking on your door online.
Oh, the online door. Yeah.
The back door in the dark web.
They say backdoor friends are the best.
Yeah, like docking stations.
Like docking stations that are not people. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm starting to wheeze like Snidely Whiplash. That's how you know I potentially had too much to drink.
Oh God.
when Jordan starts to wheeze as he laughs. Is that actually written with pen, or is that how the font is on
Yeah,
your
it's written
on your?
with pen.
Oh wow, so that's like extremely local.
Yeah, it's right across the street from the liquor.
Wow.
Okay, not right across the street, but like,
I was gonna say, if you have a brewery across the street, I'm moving there.
oh, here? Yeah, that's the one I
Yeah,
go to with
absolutely.
the fire truck. That's this one.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and it's run by a pastor.
No. Okay, so Pastor Ann's
Uh huh.
family, she won. So they do this thing, this raffle where you bid or
Hmm.
buy raffle ticket. I don't know what they do. I've never been to it,
Is it an
but
MLM?
no.
I know, I'm just joking.
On helping create a beer. So it's for a
Okay,
charity and
it's cool.
you donate and then they'll pick a person. I think it's a raffle. And
That's
then
really cool.
whoever they pick will help them make a beer and she made this one. Um so she won and made this one and it's really good.
It's not okay. Now I see what happened. That's really cool.
So she worked there for a little bit. She gas no, not gaslit. Uh,
Moonlit. She
moonlit.
moonlit.
She moonlit at the brewery. Uh,
So let me ask you this, Tyler. If you won, what kind of beer would you put
oh,
out?
I already know.
I
I
know
would
that's why I'm asking.
I so because they already have a sour beer and you can add whatever flavor you want, I wouldn't do a
Right, which I
sour.
want. I need to try that.
So good.
Hmm.
So you their sours, you just add a little bit of the flavor so you can pick whatever flavor you want. So it's just a
You know
sour
what?
beer.
I know what you would have. It
Grapefruit.
would be a gin smoothie.
I think I do a hazy grapefruit.
Ooh, okay, hazy grapefruit. Okay, I
Mhm.
like it. I'm on board. I love grapefruit. Grapefruit is my weakness.
Oh, so good. I
Honestly,
lose
and kumquats, but no, no one ever talks about kumquats.
no, we don't.
We
But
don't. Maybe for a good reason. I don't know.
it's the name.
Yes, you may be right.
Kumquats.
I wonder who, the person who thought etymologically, like, you know what? Let's call this the kumquat.
Well, you know what? It's the same person who calls it a lisp.
Lisp.
Yeah. Like, why is that
Yeah,
the word
that's
for
the
a lisp?
yeah. You know, yeah.
Or yeah, speech impediment. Like, why is it
Mhm.
impediment? Like
Why?
or dyslexia. Let's just put as many letters as we can in there so that the people that have dyslexia have a hard time
Right?
reading it.
Or let's have two different homophones, complement and complement, and just change one letter in them. Let's
Hey.
do that too. English is such a language. It's such a
If
backwards
you're
language when you really look at it.
oh, say your other one. Say your sentence.
Oh, the best
Mhm.
sentence in the English language.
We're,
Buffalo, 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 buffalo.
we're making t-shirts.
I will not be explaining that at this time.
We will make t-shirts and it will explain it.
Hmm.
But yeah, are you a patient?
I am not a patient. No, I'm a patient. I shouldn't say that. I am a patient.
Your presence is our present.
Your presence is our present. Language is so much fun. To those who don't know, I used to teach ESL, which is English as a second language. So
And is soon to
I'm
be an high school English teacher
you know what? Here's to hoping. You know,
or a college professor.
no, I wouldn't want to do that. But I would want a little jacket with the little the elbow patches.
I mean, you have to, and the pen pocket.
I was actually dressed as an old man until I decided against it at the last minute and put on a sweater.
Today,
Today, I've sent you a picture of me dressed as an old man. Oh, I mean, not dressed as an old man, but I looked like an old man, basically.
I thought you looked adorable.
Well, thank you. Well, you look adorable too.
Oh, thanks. It's because we're matching.
Now we're just going off the rails here. People are like, this is about a cult. This is not about a cult now. We're just flirting at this point. What's happening?
It's the story of our lives.
This is the story of a girl.
Cried a river and drowned the whole
Of
world.
course, you know the song. Thank
And
you.
now we're copyright infringing on.
Oh, that's right. We were supposed to do that for a theme song for this.
Right, we're going to. We need, oh, if you all could
This
send
is the
us,
story of an MLM.
this is
It's
story
actually
of
a
a
cult.
cult while we drink our cocktails. Yeah.
There it is. Tyler the magician. I
They
am so
should,
sorry, listeners.
we should do an episode where we have edibles beforehand.
People, oh my God, people are going to ask, Tyler, what happened to your podcast? It was going so well. And then you can just be like, well, Jordan came on and the
Jordan.
whole thing went to shit.
So you all, this will be a once a month thing.
You should just make it a once a year thing. Poor
No,
listeners
no. And
don't
if
want
you want
this.
it, if you want it more, you let us know.
You, if you want it more, you should seek help
Your prescription
because
is
there's
to
something
watch it
wrong.
more.
Yes. Honestly, though, you should watch this more. This is quality. This is quality programming.
And this is probably when you should watch if you're on audio.
Yes. I haven't changed glasses, but
So there's a podcast that I listen to called This
yeah.
That's Why We Drink,
Oh, that sounds amazing.
but they don't drink. So they
But it's
ask
why they drink.
so they ask in the beginning of it, like, hey, what are
Mhm.
you drinking? And then they'll be like, I'm drinking water. And they're like, why do you drink this week? And then they'll have a story about like something terrible that happened or something crazy. And then they'll be like, then they'll get into their story. It's like a true crime, paranormal. I think it's more paranormal than true crime podcast.
That's awesome. That's pretty
I
cool.
really, really like it. I really, really like that podcast. I don't understand the name of it though.
I guess that the events that are going on is why they drink.
Yeah, but they don't drink alcohol.
I guess technically though, when you talk about drinking, it's also the same with the word imbibe, which is technically a verb. But yeah, you don't necessarily have to imbibe alcohol. You can imbibe water or knowledge.
You can't drink water. Water is not a thing.
Tyler, this is a bottle of water.
This is a
How
bottle
dare
of
you?
water. Did you
Dear
like
listener,
Lexi's video?
no, no, I didn't. Lexi asked me.
That was the best ever.
For listeners who have no idea what's going on right now, I just want to say that I just want Tyler to be healthy. That's me. That's where I'm coming from. That's the space I'm coming from. So I encourage Tyler to drink water. What is that? That's a Subway cup with God knows what in it.
Coca-Cola.
Okay, that's not. Anyway, that's what this is, dear
This.
listener. And honestly, dear listener, you too, those are good. I like those. But listener, you too should encourage Tyler to drink her water
Okay, but here's
because
my
it'll make her
problem.
feel better.
Here's
And
my
it's cheap.
problem.
Here's what's your problem.
Okay, so my water cooler, for those watching, it's right
Oh
there.
my goodness.
It's empty, and I cannot.
Okay.
And I can't. I'm too weak right now with my illnesses.
That's
Scary.
that's fair. We're okay. All right. That's fair.
But I did drink 5 gallons. That's proof.
Over how long was that in there though?
Before it went empty, about 2 weeks.
Really? I'm very proud of you.
I
I'm proud.
added stuff into the water,
All right. Don't break my heart.
liquid IV. But
My goodness.
did you know milk is more hydrating than water?
Mary, did you know?
Mary, did you know
Oh my goodness. Okay.
that your baby boy
Oh my
has
goodness.
walked where angels trod?
Copyright infringement.
No, that is an old song. That is way
Is
past
it?
its prime.
Is it an old song?
How many people sing that song? They sing it in church. There's no way.
Do they sing it in church?
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking. I don't
They
know.
also sing Pharaoh, Pharaoh. Oh, baby, let my people go. Huh. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That is not a song I've ever heard sung in a church.
Yeah, I have. Did you go to an E free church?
No, I did not. Let's see. Mary did, well, the pentatonic. I don't want that.
Ooh.
Carrie Underwood. Well, I guess it must be if Carrie Underwood's singing.
Yeah, she wouldn't pay.
No, she wouldn't pay. One of Lowry's.
Pentatonics would pay though.
They would. Let's see. Songwriter in 1984, Mark Lowry, written the words. He wrote the words to Mary Did You Know in 1984. So that is still very much so copyrighted.
I don't know. Look it up if it is though. He may not have copyrighted
I'm
it.
looking at it. I'm looking right now
So I don't know how a bunch of churches sing it unless he just only gave
because
churches
it's,
permission.
well, probably it's a hymn at this. Well, I wouldn't call it a hymn, but yeah, I'm sure churches can get away with anything. They don't pay taxes. Who's coming after a church?
Oh, those I do so many of my contracts at work for churches and they're the most fun to work with.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, they're a bag of laughs.
Oh gosh.
Let me tell you, the battle axe that worked at the school that I worked at, she worked in this, she technically worked at the church, but this battle axe of a woman, let me tell you, oh, she
Oh,
was something else.
was her
Her
name?
name was her name was Hilda.
Oh yes, even better.
And
Okay.
she embodied everything that you would think a Hilda would embody. Let me tell you, she was a work of art.
She would probably make a good massage therapist.
I don't see her doing that.
But
May she
if she
rest.
went that way,
May she rest in distress.
if she went that way
Let
with
me
her
tell you,
life,
she would never. She would never ever. Those are your old glasses. What
these
are
are
you
my
even doing?
new glasses.
I was thinking about the cat frames.
Ah, they're stuck.
Today, today on Tyler's podcast, Tyler doesn't know how to put glasses on.
While wearing a headset.
Mm-hmm.
These are my new
Well,
glasses.
Tyler Buford Beauregard Holmes Esquire.
Esquire,
Do you want to call it? Do you want to
Lady
call it?
Lord. Oh, yes. Thank you for joining us on Cocktails and Cults while we get drunk and talk about cults. You have been a lovely audience. Let us know what cult you would like to hear about next time on this thing. Crows. Oh, what?
Oh God. Lee, edit that out.
Never. That was your asthma. I can't understand what
Okay.
you're saying. Bye.
Goodbye.